Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next 2 hours, along with Mike.
Hello.
Hello. And Spence.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning. And Nick is here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And this morning's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Thompson Clare of Live Streaming Gear. What a night.
Tell us about it.
Our power went out, and it's weird. There is something in the room. I think it's one of the clocks that when the power goes out, it goes and it dies. So I woke up and it's all dark and the emergency lights are on. I said, "Oh, seriously?"
Well, you know, most of the times when I wake up in the middle of the night, it's dark then too.
Yeah. Well, it's different kind of dark.
It is a different dark, yeah.
Oh.
So I waited a few seconds, light came on, went back out. I said, "Oh shoot, yeah, it's not going to work." So put on my shorts, got out, went out.
Whoa.
Short, just shorts. Not my drawers, my shorts.
Oh.
Do we need to know this?
Yeah.
Part of
Well, no, Nick is thinking something else.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. And
drop your drawers to us.
It was dark. It was okay. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Went out there, started the generator, went over to the and I'm half asleep. Went to the breaker box, said, "Okay, now turn off the main one first." So I did it the right way. And went inside, turned a couple of things off that I normally do when I run the generator. And went to check to see, of course, Time Warner, forget it. The minute the power goes out, Time Warner is out.
That's fact.
They have no battery. So I went ahead and I switched to Uverse. Everything is working. So I went to look if on the Duke outage maps and saw that there's a big chunk covering our area. It said like 2,900 and some customers affected. And this was about 1:15 at that point. It says first reported at 1:11, estimated at 3:15 it'll be done. Well, all right. So I go in and I change a couple of things for other machines to be able to work online with Uverse. Try to go back to sleep. Can't go to sleep. So I got up and sat in front of the computer, and I almost wrote you, Nick, because I saw you.
You should have messaged me. I was up.
Well, I don't know. I saw that you said you put LOL at about 12 something, and I said, I wonder if he's up. Nah, I'm not going to bother him.
Yeah, I was Sean and I were messaging about 1:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I slept for about 15 minutes in the chair, but put the cameras right on a light outside street light so I can tell. And sure enough, right on the dot, 3:15, it comes on.
Oh, must have been scheduled maintenance then, if that was the case.
I don't know.
I don't think that happens.
That is weird because I said, yeah, they're probably sitting there and shooting the bull, and they say, oh, we have time until 3:15, and then they turn it back on. Anyway, came back on. I left it for another 10 minutes on the generator just to make sure, and everything was fine. But woke up this morning and it's 7:59. Oh, sheesh. Glad I woke up.
So, I asked this
So,
question in pre-show when we were talking about it. So now that you no longer have any servers at your
oh,
house, what is what is your reasoning for switching over to your generator besides the fridge and
well, that's a big thing. 'Cause, I mean, you can't rely on them saying 3:15 because I was waiting for 3:15 to come on and they'll change it. Said, oh, 8:30 or whatever. You can't do that. So yeah, I mean, I in order not to have to use too much power from the generator, I actually went out. I mean, I went around and I turned off this and turned off that. So at that point, you have to be up so you can turn it back on. But um, it's I don't know. It's a habit. I guess it's more of a habit than
Yeah,
I
because
have
your
this thing.
refrigerator will stay cold
Yeah,
for
especially at night when
hours
nobody.
without
Yeah,
yeah.
open the door.
Hmm.
but I mean, you need to be in the house also when there's a power outage. There are about 5 UPSs in the living quarters. I'm not talking about in the office and in
Oh,
the
it's the
Yeah.
studio.
beep. It's all the beeping. That's
So
why I
the
had.
beeping is
Well,
just
you can turn the
driving you
beeping off on those,
crazy.
can't you?
Well, I mean, you want to know when something is going on.
True.
So it's all that stuff. And besides, generators there. Why not
True.
start it and have light? Then you see people driving outside and just stopping, kind of like I guess they
Oh,
taking a
because
second look.
you've got every light in the house is
All
on.
the no, I mean, but there are lights,
That's funny.
and
He
the
likes
rest
to annoy his neighbors.
the noise
Shine spotlights on their houses.
the noise is not a problem. The generator is very very quiet. It's almost like a hum instead of it's not a gas generator, gasoline that creates a lot of noise. Those
Well, it's
diesels.
got that big hush kit on it too.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So
Okay, I've got another question for you.
going back.
So your generator's on for about 2 hours or so?
Yeah.
How much does it cost you to operate that thing for 2 hours?
I think I figured that it costs. What was it? It takes about 15 gallons a day.
is
I
that
mean, for
$3 a
12,
gallon?
12 no, yeah, for 24 hours. I figured it once. It's a lot more than what electricity would cost. Probably about 30, $40.
That's what I would say. So you should send Duke a
Yeah, I know.
bill.
I
Send
thought
Duke an
about it.
invoice for the thing.
Thought about it many a time.
Yeah, like hey, power was out, so I had to run my generator. It cost me $40. So I wonder what they would respond. I wonder what the response to that would be.
They're gonna laugh.
Nothing.
Well, that would be my question. Do they respond or they just say nothing?
They'd raise your rates.
Oh, they're doing that anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Speaking of which, be sure to check your bill to see if they're charging you $8.50 a month for auto draft.
I don't have auto draft on. What if why would they charge you $9 a month for auto
Lawyer I
draft?
know had just checked his bill and they're charging me $8.50 a month to draft his account.
I would not pay it and let them shut my power off.
Yeah, that'll work.
I never understood that when the bank started doing things. Oh yeah, to do the electronic reporting instead of sending you a statement, you go and you download a PDF with the statement and a copy of the checks and all that. They were in the beginning they were charging you more to do that, and I said, what the hell? I mean, I'm saving you paper, I'm saving you work, I'm saving you postage. You charging me more to do that? So I stopped. I started going to. I said no. Keep sending me the paper. It's fine. And now I'm back. Ellen is saying, how long is your power out when it goes out on average? Yeah, on average, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm still saying many times. I said we live in a third world country. Our area is unbelievable. The number of times the power goes out and stays out, even if this time it was 2 hours. Some other times it may be 4 or 5 hours. Most of the times it may be just like 2 minutes, and others no. Most of the times it's just a blip, like for about a few seconds, and others, yeah. But that's not
Now
the point. It's a nuisance. There's no reason for it.
is now I'm not defending them, but
Yeah,
you do live in an area where there's a lot of development going
I
on. I
understand.
mean, and I don't know what the process of bringing a new subdivision online is, but I would imagine there's a dip in the whole system when they do the syncing between the two
Probably.
systems. So
Where I
Uh,
live I moved here 27 years ago when the town was real small and it was growing. And Apex has what they call community power. It's a cooperative, and it's a deal we can't get out of. They signed a 75-year contract. But
nice.
every Sunday morning, like clockwork, the power would go out because they were reconfiguring the system. They told us it was going to happen. And then anytime the wind blew, there was a storm, the power would go out. And that's just the way it was for years until they upgraded the system. They actually got a better design in place, and now the power is very reliable. But it was terrible when the town was being built up, and we just have no alternative. They buy power wholesale from Duke and resell it to us, and they try. We actually pay a little bit more per kilowatt because of it.
That's
So,
stupid.
yeah, but Amnon, the reason why they turn your power off is that the guy who is shoveling the coal has to take a break.
yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, it's been like this for years, and you sort of like you're getting used to it. But every time it happens, it reminds you, and you start contemplating again. What am I going to do about it? And you realize there's nothing you can do about it.
I uh, is Duke doesn't seem like a very good company.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
it was like this when it was CP&L. It was like this when it was Progress Energy,
yeah,
and
but it's all the same. CP&L,
yeah,
Duke, and CP&L is just
right.
a name change. What? I wonder why. Is it because their coverage area is so? I think they're one of the largest power companies in the country. They may be the largest,
Yeah,
next to California Power and Electric, or whatever they call their
the
electrical
largest
company.
they are, the more arrogant they are, and the more they think, oh, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of lot of stuff going on with them. They're doing a rate raise for some reason in the coming. It's either next year or in the coming months that everybody's all been out of shape about. So they just don't seem like a very liked company.
Well, I mean, you guys mentioned maybe it was a scheduled maintenance. Now, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to do scheduled maintenance, you let the residents know,
Yeah.
because I mean, God forbid, I mean, there are a lot of people that have medical equipment. They have older people in the
They're
house.
required by law to notify if that's the case because of people that
Oh,
have oxygen. Some people don't have oxygen tanks, they have oxygen generators
right. Yeah.
that only have so much battery time. There are people, who knows? I mean, you remember the story about there are people on iron lungs. I know they're still out there, but they had these. This is critical for these people, the
Yeah. I mean,
power.
that's what I'm saying.
So
So I don't know about uh, scheduled maintenance. I mean, heck, uh, Time Warner Telecom lets me know 2 months ahead of time that they're going to have a downtime of 15 minutes where they're going to do scheduled maintenance to change a board or whatever. And they keep on sending you updates. Yeah, don't forget, we're going to do CP&L does it. They can't do that. I don't know. and I'm really I think it's a waste of time, but I always think, yeah, I need to call Time Warner and tell them that they're worthless because they don't have any battery backup on their service. And it seems to me that actually it would be easier for them to power their points of distribution a whole lot easier than it would be with uh, AT&T. AT&T is sending it on twisted pairs and uh, well, no, I mean, when you have fiber, you can't send power through it. But the one time that I realized that AT&T is actually more customer oriented is that a couple of years ago when we had an outage for about 2 3 days because of storm, and AT&T kept on running. Finally, oops, we can't hear you, Spence.
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't realize I was muted. Think about the legacy, though. You got the telephone company comes from a tariff environment
Mhm.
where uptime and reliability was important. So they would build 48-volt
Yeah.
systems that were huge battery backup systems, where Time Warner didn't have that regulation. They didn't fall under those tariffs. So they didn't build a 48. Now maybe their data center, when you had the colo stuff, did
Yeah.
that run on 48 volts?
No, I have my own UPS there, but then
Yeah, but
within
think about it. If the head end equipment at Time Warner, I doubt it's 48 volts direct, because that's how phone
yeah.
system, they literally
Well,
ran
they're
on
still
48
running.
volts.
They're still running. I mean,
DC.
the cabinet outside has 48 volts. It has a bunch of batteries at the bottom of the cabinet on the street. And
Yes.
the way I found out and what they did back then is it finally died after about a day and a half. And I called and they sent a truck that had a bunch of generators in the back, and they took one generator out, and it was a 48-volt generator.
Yep.
He hooked it and he chained it to the cabinet, and he said somebody will come and fill it up, but it doesn't need to be filled up for about 2 days. It was okay. By the next day, everything was charged
But
up. But I
but think
mean,
about it.
AT&T
Would
did
Time
that?
Warner ever do that?
the what?
Would Time Warner ever do that? No.
I don't know that they even have a battery
No.
anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm
I
saying. I
mean,
doubt they do. I mean, some of them may be hardened, but
I don't
who
know.
knows?
What did you say,
Oh,
Nick?
well, so I remember when the power used to go out. Obviously, we had Time Warner. I had Time Warner back in New York. I don't remember the internet always going out when the power went out.
Oh,
Not
the
always.
second the power goes out, bam.
And I remember a lot of this stuff. Used to have these conversations all the time. It's like they built up their networks differently and built up their systems differently in different locations. I don't know where they started, if they started up north or they started down here. But I remember many a times, especially during snow and ice storms, still having internet access from Time Warner. So I don't
Even
know if it was
even
just
if
how
the
their
power
system.
was out.
Yeah, now it could also be that the neighborhood that we lived in, the houses were less than 25 years old, so maybe they had some.
I don't know.
Maybe they had backups in the pedestals there because all the cabling is underground. I mean, I don't really know, but it's just weird how you would assume that it would be all the same across their whole
I
network.
I remember in the early days of Time Warner, like in the 90s, when power goes out, it stays. And I remember it took about 6 hours or so for it to die. So the first time that the power went out and with it, the internet and TV at the same time, I called and I said, I think you need to change your battery because it did not hold. So we don't have batteries out there.
Hmm.
And John is saying that the modem requires electricity. The modem
Yep.
requires electricity. Doesn't do any good. Yeah, the
Yeah.
modem was
No, but I
up.
think he's making the point though of don't
Yeah.
expect if you're whole.
Oh,
Now, it's funny because back when do you have who's your phone's not from Time Warner, but
no.
if your phone was from Time Warner for a while before they went to DOCSIS 3, your phone and internet came in on that black modem with the big white reset button on the front of it. I don't know if you guys had those down here. And that device had a battery built into it and would last for us for a point of time. But that was a doc that would have been a DOCSIS 2 modem, but it was the phone and cable internet built into the same device.
No, I
We
don't
still have
know.
one because what now that they've got the DOCSIS 3, they use the DOCSIS 2 modem. They turn off the internet on it, and it still is the phone modem. But for a long time before DOCSIS 3, it was all combined on one on just a single black black modem.
We had telephone service from AT&T through in the beginning through the Uverse because it was a package.
Mhm.
And yeah, that modem that they put in here does have a battery.
You're talking about that was a like a large rectangular modem from
This is
Uverse?
a regular looking. I mean, yeah, it's the VG something
Is the one that has
529.
does it have the fiber on the back too, the fiber hookup if you have it?
Don't think I ever looked in the back.
Oh, okay.
Probably optional with that form factor, depending on which one they provide. What is it?
Yeah,
Aris makes those modems.
yeah, I think it's a Harris and something.
Yeah, but what they'll do is they'll have the battery option in the bottom. You can plug it in if you supply it to it, and then it'll also have different models will have different interfaces depending on the system you're supporting.
So that image I just posted is this Aris modem that for a long time was used for Time Warner for both internet and phone, and this thing had a battery that would
Okay.
last for some time. But I remember that, and then obviously when you switch over to a Motorola Surfboard or something like that, you need to power it yourself if the internet goes out.
I think it's a legacy leftover from the telco.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
because of the mentality there.
Because now once we switched over to um the DOCSIS 3, the Surfboard, when the power would go out and there was no generator on, the phone would work. Obviously, the internet wouldn't because the router and the modem weren't powered. But it's just weird that based on region that stuff would change. That's odd.
Well,
And I looked up real quick. Duke Energy has the most amount of customers, it appears, in the country. That's 7.4 million. Behind them is Pacific Gas and Electric at 5.1 million.
wow,
But their revenue is
a lot
three
more.
times less than Pacific Gas and Electric because they charge $17 a kilowatt hour for electricity in California.
The wonderful lifestyle of living in California. And why
Crazy.
they're losing
Well, it's
thousands of people a week.
better than Con Ed, whose average price is almost $26
Yeah.
a kilowatt.
Yep. I was a Lilco customer when I lived on Long
Oh, okay.
Island. They
Yeah.
turned into whatever the mess they have now is after the Shoreham plant never opened and had to be decommissioned for billions of dollars. Yep.
Well,
I think it's just a Long Island. I think it's actually them. I don't know who it's owned by now. Maybe owned by Niagara Mohawk. I don't remember.
I think it was taken over by the state for a while.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's really, really expensive.
That's crazy.
That and in conjunction with your $10,000 a year property taxes just make it worth it to live there.
And looking at this price, this is the top 10 power companies as of 2014, and Duke is actually the cheapest on here out of these top 10 in their average price of kilowatt hour.
so
I
you
wonder
telling
what they
you
go
so
through with
so
the
what you're
state's
telling
utility
us
commission.
we have a deal.
Well, that's what I don't know if you necessarily have a deal. It's weird because they've got the most customers by a lot, but because the power is so much cheaper per se, they're not making anywhere near the money that these other utilities are making.
I think if I understand the way they get their rate increases, they apply for these years in advance and they have to go I think each state has a utility commission
They do, yeah.
where they approve the rate. So Duke having having acquired Progress and having acquired all these other companies, maybe they're just behind in asking for rate increases. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard something on the radio about it the other day.
They're working on rate increases for years in advance. So it's like writing well, we anticipate that the cost of will be this at this date. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it
that's what you
is.
get when you get a legal monopoly. Oh well.
What else?
My power bill's about $50 a month here, which isn't anything crazy, but
Mine varies by season because of air conditioning, but
yeah.
my gas bill, the reason I live in the town I'm in is because I wanted natural gas. And that is the best bargain you can possibly get for heating your home, especially if you invest in gas appliances besides your heat. So for $60 a month, rounded billing all year, I can heat my house, dry my clothes, cook on my stove, heat my hot water, and run my fireplace. So it's a deal.
Such a deal.
And if I had a natural gas generator, that would be cool. Auto start.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah. Mm.
that is a nice thing to have. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, Ken is right. Public utilities are not supposed to be for profit as such. That's why utility commissions regulate the power companies. And of course, they are just as pure as the driven snow when it comes to interaction there and protecting the public.
Let's see, according to this, their revenue in their net revenue in 2016 was only $2.7 billion. So I guess that's not really profit. Interesting.
Well, when you look at a company like that, you look at what do the executives make? What do their bonuses look like? Do they get bonuses? First, I don't think a utility company should be handled and managed the same way as a public company, or I should say, a private company would be managed. But who knows? We have to pay to get good people.
Yeah, because the CEOs
Glad
like
I don't
keeping the
have it.
lights on.
Oh well.
Oh, well. Oh, well is right. All right. Anyhow, let's see. Anything else anybody wants to talk about right now? Or can I?
Fuel? Can we talk about fuel injectors? Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Nick, you have a problem, don't you?
Oh, I asked you to remind me of something, and now I don't remember what it was.
Amazon.
Ah, yes. So the wonderful so Amazon Prime has raised their rates again for Amazon Prime, now up to $120 a year. We had this discussion in the past. Somebody remind me, how much was it before it went up to 100? Was it $90 a year? Was it 80?
Thought it was
It
like
was
79, something like that.
Okay, so 80, maybe it was $80 a year. I don't remember exactly what the price was, but it was somewhere between $80 and $90 a year. Went up last year to $100 a year, and now coming up May 11th, I believe, is the cutoff. It's going up to $119 a year, and we've had the conversation in the past, and I think we'd have it now. Is it worth $120 a year for free shipping? With the mindset that that Amazon ships any order over $35 for free anyway. And I challenge anybody to log into their Amazon account. Now this is taking this is saying that maybe you don't use I don't use any other Amazon services. I don't use Prime Video. I don't use Prime Music because it doesn't have a good selection. I don't really use anything else besides the free shipping. I don't use their storage, their Amazon storage platform or whatever it is. But I challenge anybody to log into their Amazon account, click on your orders, and just scroll through and see how many of the things you've recently ordered are over $35. And those items would be subject to free shipping anyway. The last thing I bought was $100 on Amazon. So it would have come in 3 days instead of 2. but the shipping would have been free no matter what.
Right.
But Nick, just think about all the cool propaganda, liberal shows you can watch on Amazon Prime.
Well, and
for
that's the
free.
other thing too, is I mean, you are really supporting a company that you look at what Bezos is doing. The money you're spending to Amazon can, in some respect, is being funneled right over to the Washington Post to slam everything I believe in support anyway. So it's at
Yep.
the point now where scrolling through your Amazon, how many things have you recently bought that are over $35? And if they weren't over $35, are those things available in stores locally to you? Now, I buy little things on Amazon like phone chargers, but I only buy them because it doesn't cost to ship them. I could go to Walmart and get a phone charger or I could go to Five Below and get a phone charger for the same price, or the dollar store. Um, so it just scrolling through here, it just doesn't seem like a good deal to continue having Amazon Prime at the cost of $120 a year.
That's kind of the same thing that the author of this article is saying. He said, "I just don't believe that benefit outweighs the increased cost of membership, the free shipping."
I need to look. I don't think I have an Amazon account that doesn't. Actually, I do. Let me log in. Let me log into an Amazon account that
Now,
doesn't have
I see
Amazon Prime.
something in that article that I don't know how to interpret. Existing Prime members will have until June 16 to renew their membership at the current $99 price point. Does that mean that if mine expires in December, I can go now and renew it for another year
Yeah,
for
but
$99?
you wouldn't renew it for another year. You'd renew it from June to June. You'd
Okay.
lose
Yeah. Okay.
July,
That's
August, September,
yeah.
October,
That's what I
November. You'd
was.
lose 6 months of
Yeah.
your thing.
Oh, Nick, here's the reason
Yes,
why
sir.
they raised the price.
Yes.
Bosch has a third season coming out on Prime.
Oh, great.
So that's the reason why, right there.
All right.
Well, that's worth it, right there.
So I'm gonna log into. I've logged into an Amazon account that does not have Amazon Prime. I'm gonna find something that is. Let's search for a iPhone charger. Okay. Let's see. An Amazon Basic charger is $7.99. So I'm gonna add this to my cart and see how much this will cost to ship. Okay, we'll ship it to this address. Standard shipping. I'd get it Friday, May 4th with standard shipping. I don't know why it's not showing me the cost on shipping. I guess I have to re-enter my
Does it
card into here.
does it say free shipping on qualified? Because it may be qualified. I mean, sometimes you see
Oh, maybe I don't know.
things that are less than $35 and it says qualified for free shipping.
Okay, so now it's telling me why pay for shipping? Save $6.03 with free 2-day shipping from Amazon. No, thanks. I don't want fast free shipping. So in this case, holy moly, this is expensive. They're wanting so this is where the argument comes in. So this phone charger is an Amazon Basic Lightning cable. It is $7.99. Amazon's going to charge $6 to ship it and another $1.50 in taxes. So this phone charger is now $15. So we'll
Yeah,
go over
you need.
and we'll look.
I think they're trying to penalize you, sort of like to get you to go onto Prime. You need to find something that is not being sold by Amazon.
Well, no, my point is now we'll slide over to Walmart and I can get a, let's see that. How long is this cable? A 6-foot cable. I can get a 10-foot charging cable for $11 at Walmart. Free pickup today. So I assume that means it's available at a Walmart near me or a Target near me. I mean, or go to a dollar store and get one. So it's not that the price is, obviously the $6 is outrageous to ship, but how many things can you get for either the same price or less at a local store over Amazon? Because then now the convenience is gone. It would be here Friday, May 3rd. It would take if it shipped tomorrow, so it'd be in transit Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, That doesn't make any sense,
And
actually.
maybe get there Friday. Maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
they
well, it
said
said
that.
Friday the
And
3rd, but
how much of promised 2-day shipping actually turns out to be not 2-day shipping?
most of the time it's not.
Yeah, it seems to be not
It's about 3-day. It
as
seems like
reliable.
Right.
it's 3-day. And I think that's the frustration with a lot of people is they call it 2-day shipping. It doesn't come 2-day, and then they say, "Oh, we're going to raise the rates 100 and or we're going to raise the rate $20, the 20%. It's a 20% rate increase. We're going to raise the rate 20%, and you're still going to get the service that sucks."
Yep. Did you see the story about how it's possible that Musk might be ousted from Tesla?
I did not see that. No,
Yeah, it's a lot of controversy because of slipping battery problems, technology issues, slipping schedules.
they're way behind.
They delayed the car now to the point where it's no longer going to be eligible for the federal tax subsidy. So it's going to increase the cost of the car for some people by over $7,000.
They are way behind on production right now. They're supposed to be making, I don't remember what the number is, however many cars a day, and they are well under
Yep.
what they're supposed to be doing.
What reminded me of that was just thinking about Bezos and the empire and that whole thing, and people who are, you realize too that the government is a huge customer of Amazon. A lot of Amazon Web Services host government services more and more. They just won a big contract to provide even more web services for the U.S. government. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background we just don't know.
Um, um, I'm looking here, and Tommy saying he mentioned his echo. It reminded me yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, I was trying to turn off a light, and when I said, "Alexa," a red ring came on and flashed 3 times, and she said, "I can't answer a question right now. Please try again later."
Internet's down.
Yeah, well, it was, I had to redo the hook thing. No, I had to redo the modem.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
does that when the internet's
yeah.
down.
But I've never heard that. I said, "Oh, really?" And Kathy said, "What? What did she tell you?" I said, "She says she can't answer right now. Try later. She's busy."
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Did you guys hear Apple is officially exiting the wireless router business and
No, they're getting rid of their
selling off.
whatchamacallits?
Yep, and it's selling off its remaining inventory of AirPort products. This include the AirPort Express, AirPort Extreme, and both models of the AirPort Time Capsule. We're discontinuing the Apple AirPort base station products, Apple said in a statement to 9 to 5 Mac. They will be available through apple.com and Apple authorized resellers while supplies last.
And what about somebody who just went out and bought one of these,
I
thinking,
know.
"Oh, I need to stick with Apple because of the ecosphere of Apple products."
Mm.
They're going to get to return it and get a full refund. Not that it's not a bad product. I'm not saying it's a bad product. The people that I know that have it like it. Time Capsule takes the time machine app to the next level. Just does a good job. But hmm,
Yeah, but
Hopefully,
I mean, you're using a system that's eventually obsolete. So
well, I
Yep.
mean, if it does a backup, if it backs it up, even if it's discontinued, I mean, they're going to continue supporting it. It's fine
yeah, but I mean, do you really
until
want to? If Spencer's saying somebody new, if you didn't have one, now you're gonna
no, then
you're
you
gonna get
right,
into this ecosystem knowing that there is no update path in the
right,
future. That doesn't.
yeah,
what Apple does do that's pretty good is that they have backward compatibility for older devices. Now, I'm not saying it makes it run faster, but I mean, I don't have any other, no, I don't have any PCs that I bought in 2009 that still work as well as they did or now as they did back then. So I can't complain about that.
I'm sure people will keep on buying them. Hopefully they'll be cheaper, so maybe it'll be
That
okay
would
for
be
some.
nice.
Yeah.
They are expensive.
But on the
So,
flip side, the latest version of iOS 11.3.1 includes a fix for an issue where people who use third-party repair services to replace their displays had their devices become unresponsive. So
bricks,
what?
bricks. They bricked
Yeah.
them.
According to release notes, iOS 11.3.1 improves the security of your iPhone or iPad, and addresses an issue where touch input was unresponsive on some iPhone 8 devices because they were serviced with non-genuine replacement displays. So they changed something, they compensated for those non-genuine displays so they'll work, which is nice. But if you have, I guess it's not bricked. I guess you just can't touch the screen when you do that and it's not responsive. How do you get to do the update? I don't know. It seems to me like a catch 22 here. But at least they're trying. You got to give it to them. People complained and said, okay, well, we can do something about
Did you stumble across a story about the guy who's going to prison for producing um, Microsoft OS backup disks?
that. No, what are you producing?
Yeah, guy's going to prison for 15 months. His name is Eric Lundgren. He was an e-waste recycler, and what he would and a $50,000 fine, 15 months in prison for producing thousands of Windows Restore disks. What he would do is sell them for 25 cents each to Windows refurbishers. When the disk is they the, all it was there for is to provide the customer with a backup disk that you could download for free anyway because you have a license. It's useless without a license. But Microsoft was able to persuade the judge that each of those disks is worth $25 and that the guy had 28,000 disks seized, never actually sold them. And now he and his partner are both charged with conspiracy to traffic and counterfeit goods.
Nice.
So amazing.
Dang.
That's cool.
Yep. The
Yeah.
guy said, I'm going to prison and I've accepted it. What's not okay is with people is not understanding why I'm going to prison. How did we get to this point? Here he is, a recycler, uh, trying to do some good, by, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the real question is, why in the hell is Microsoft going after it? I mean, do they not have anything else to worry about?
It's not like he's stealing revenue from them because you couldn't get a disc from them anyway. You'd have to get a disc from the manufacturer of your machine.
That's my point.
Maybe
Is
a recovery disc,
why? What's the rationale behind this?
because they're Microsoft.
That's crazy.
Actually, he said it was part of a government sting.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so it wasn't Microsoft; it was the government.
oh well.
Oh well. Anybody looked at their Gmail lately?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the changes they made?
I don't use online. No, I don't use it online.
Oh,
I use it in a client.
If
I
you
use it
if you-
online. I didn't really. I
you-
have to look a little more closely to notice the changes.
well, they said that you probably won't see it, but it's you can click on the gear and click try the beta or something like
I'll do that.
that. It
Try the new
looks-
Gmail. All right, here
yeah.
we go. Here we go. You ready?
It's it looks sort of like the same.
Oh my God! It's like it's hurting my eyes. I can't take it. Hues of view. I'll take the comfortable view.
So they're saying that they pushed out a biggest revamp of Gmail in years, and in addition to a new material design look. There are quick links to other Google services such as Calendar, Tasks, and Keep, as well as new confidential mode designed to protect users against certain attacks by having the emails automatically expire at a time of the sender's choosing. Remember, we talked about it last week or week before.
So did they put confidential mode out there because the story just came out about how the conspirators in the FBI and DOJ
Hmm.
were using draft messages to communicate? Is that why they changed it?
Well, I don't know.
Which is something that it's so funny how these people thought that that would mean that because they never actually sent the emails, that there was no record of them.
Oh,
Pretty good.
so it's
I use draft to save things just for myself. If I wanted to save a link or I wanted to take a file from one machine to another an easy way, and if the file was small enough to fit into mail, I put it into draft and I log into my email on another machine and just pull the file down again. It's just a really easy
yeah.
way to share files for yourself, right? And this conspiracy, if you read about it, if you go out and find, there are stories about it out there. Who was involved in these emails? They're communicating with emails this way. The other thing they were using were gaming console messages to communicate. And what finally the word went out with this being announced recently. It said, "Oh, by the way, the NSA sees all of this. There is nothing that's secret. There's nothing that's hidden. It's all, if it's out there in any way on an online form, they have access to it."
No.
Pretty funny.
The author here says that you can and you could go back to the classic, what they call the current one, but it said, but you probably won't need to revert. Google clearly didn't want to screw up Gmail, and in my initial impression is that they've succeeded by avoiding radical changes in the UI. I'll bet that some casual Gmail users might not even immediately notice the difference. Now, I am Gmail. I am a casual user, and I went and I used it maybe once a week, and I switched, and to me, it looked sort of like the same. Yeah, that's nice. You don't need to learn something new. You have additions, but everything that you know where it is, it's still there, and that's nice. That's what Microsoft doesn't do. So, yeah, new Gmail,
Oh, just a quick
new and
update
improved.
to that patent story we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Real counterfeit charge came from the fact that the guy reproduced the backup discs and put the Dell logo on them.
Oh, geez. Now that's stupid.
Now that was stupid. Yes, they made them to look exactly like genuine Dell Restore discs. So it really was
Yeah.
Microsoft was involved, but the case was involved. It was counterfeiting, and it wasn't for the software licenses because of the actual way the disc looked.
What
You
a
should have
jerk. I
said
mean, what's wrong with
compatible with Dell computers.
what's wrong with saying these are aftermarket, we sell them for $25 just so you'd have it so you don't need to
Good
scramble when you
question.
need it, and it'll be written with a Sharpie on it, something. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. Yep.
Yep.
Now, they're raising the they're changing security and privacy and age this and age that in Europe. Coming, I think it's just coming up, and to say, and WhatsApp is raising its minimum age from 13 to 16 in Europe to help it comply with new data privacy rules coming into force next month. The app will ask European users to confirm they are at least 16-year-old when they are prompted to agree to new terms of service and a privacy policy provided by new WhatsApp Ireland entity in the next few weeks.
So
Yeah,
they
and it's
verify
gonna
their age by asking them pop culture questions.
right. I guess it's got a AI. It knows whether they're lying or not. And Reuters reports that Facebook, which has a separate data policy, is taking a different approach to teens aged between 13 and 15 in order to comply with the European General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR law. It is asking them to nominate a parent or guardian to give permission for them to share information on the platform. Otherwise, they will not see a fully personalized version of the social media platform. But WhatsApp, which had more than 1.5 billion users in January, according to Facebook, said in a blog post it was not asking for any new rights to collect personal information in the agreement it has created for the European Union. WhatsApp minimum age of use will remain 13 years old in the rest of the world, in line with its parent. So something about the European Union, I mean, we can go and argue it back and forth, but uh, it's a good thing. If you're a parent, it's probably a good thing. GDPR, I guess we're gonna hear about that a lot in the coming weeks and months. Because isn't that what we were talking about last week? That Facebook is actually moving users from European registration or whatever to to US, so they don't have to go buy it. Mike, Mike,
He's frozen. No, he's moving. No.
oh, maybe he's busy.
Who's moving?
Oh, there he
No,
is.
we thought your video was frozen.
Mm. What's up?
No, man, I was just wondering. You're kind of quiet. There was
I
something
can't hear you.
you can. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, can you hear me now?
Well, that's not good. But yeah.
I have no idea. Well, you know what? I mean, do you guys hear me okay there? Because
Maybe it's my system. I think I'm just going to log out. I'm hearing words here and there, and I can't really make out what you're saying. So it's kind of taking the fun out.
oh, well, you want to reconnect?
I already did.
What in the world?
I mean, you're just not hitting but barely one bar on the hangout. So I thought it was my system, but it's not apparently.
Spence, do I sound okay on your end?
Yes.
Nick?
Nick's not here.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, I've got to leave early anyway. So are y'all going to do specials?
Oh, yeah. True. It's time. It's that time.
It's that time. Yes, yes.
It is that time, and here we are.
What song is that from, Amnon?
I don't know.
You just made it up. That's good. Are we ready?
I think so. What are we looking? What is that mouse?
That's
The
the
new
new standard
standard.
Microsoft mouse. I don't remember
don't-
one looking like. That's
Me
got to be a
neither.
really long time ago.
I don't
That's
remember
not
that either.
anything like the later versions. That's old. Very old.
Oh,
And look, I remember hearing somebody talk the other day about their father had one of the first remotes for televisions,
mm-hmm.
and they called it a clicker.
Yeah.
And it actually was an audio
Yep.
device. It didn't
Yep.
use radio frequency. It worked by clicking a certain sound,
Yep.
and the TV would then change. Literally turn the rotary dial with a little solenoid actuator built into the television.
I remember those when I came here. They had and the problem was you can jingle your keys and it'll do the
Yes,
same
and it would
thing.
That would be a fun way to punk somebody. Used to be that the remotes would work the same. You could stand in your neighbor's window and
Yeah.
he would change the channel and you would change it back and it'd go, drive him out of his mind. Be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
Computers 2K Now specials for April 29th, 2018. Starting with laptops, we have at Best Buy a Dell 2-in-1 15.6-inch touchscreen laptop, Core i7, 12 gig of memory for $799. That's $150 off. Office Depot has a Dell 11.6 2-in-1 laptop with an AMD A9 for $299. That's $100 off. And there's an HP Pavilion Intel Core i7 laptop at Staples for $599, and that's $210 off the regular price. Desktops and all-in-ones. We have at Best Buy an HP Pavilion desktop Core i3 8 gig, $399.99, save $90. We have at Office Depot a Dell desktop Core i5 for $499. That's $180 off. And then an entry-level machine at Staples, a HP Slimline Intel Pentium Quad Core for $269, which is $45 off the regular price. This next tablet, I went and looked at this. This was $100 off an Insignia Windows 10 tablet with a detachable keyboard. 32 gig, and that's a flash memory. That is not a disk, but 10.1-inch tablet with keyboard for $79, $100 off. For certain purposes, this could be very useful.
Yeah.
Email checking, basic web browsing, things like that. Worth a look for $79. Insignia is I think it's an in-store brand at Best Buy. I don't remember if they're outside or not, but it's a low-end brand, but it's not, doesn't have a horrible reputation. So worth a shot. Office Depot has a New Vision Android 7.0 8-inch tablet for $59.99, $20 off. And Staples has a 9.7-inch iPad, 32 gig tablet for $279, $50 off. Networking. At Best Buy, we've got an Asus wireless AC dual band router for $159.99. That's $20 off. Office Depot has a very, very useful device here at a good price. This is a TP-Link AC 1300 wireless dual band USB adapter. Problem with some desktops and older laptops is it comes with a built-in, PCI wireless card that may be as old as wireless G, could be wireless N, it could be wireless. Well, maybe it might be something newer. Who knows? Dual band, but here you have for $30. It's $10 off. USB 3.0 dual band. So you want to upgrade an existing machine to put in better wireless performance to match your nice new router. Here's a chance for a reasonable price. Staples has a Google Wi-Fi AC 1200 dual band whole home Wi-Fi. It's $289. That's only $10 off. But these systems are very good at solving Wi-Fi problems in homes. So you might want to look at a mesh system like this. There's lots of brands out there to look at. Check out the performance reviews, but they definitely do a better job of solving Wi-Fi coverage over repeaters or other types of devices that are out there. Okay, storage. Best Buy has a Samsung 1 terabyte solid state drive for $279. That's $50 off. Office Depot has a 1 terabyte Western Digital portable USB 3.0 hard drive for $59 at $15 off. And Staples has a Seagate Backup Plus 5 terabyte external portable hard drive for $119. That's $10 off. Accessories. At Best Buy, we have the J5 Create 2-port USB 3.0 hub with HDMI and gigabit Ethernet. This is a USB-C connector, but the nice part about it is it gives you the two USB 3.0 standard connectors as well as a gigabit Ethernet and a HDMI. So if you have a laptop that does not have a built-in Ethernet port, but you'd like to dock it, this would look at this as a mini dock.
Yeah, but it's
It's
a USB-C. Not many
it's
computers.
USB-C, and you're going to see that in
Yeah.
Ultrabooks because of the size of the connector.
Yeah.
$59.99, say $15. It is, you have to have USB-C,
Right.
but if you have it, you usually have it for a reason because it's a real estate issue. So Office Depot has a Logitech MK270 wireless keyboard and mouse. It's one step above their cheapest one, but a good quality. I actually have the model before it. And that's what I use on this particular desktop. Very, very nice keyboard. Nice clickability. And Staples has the Logitech K740 wired full-size illuminated slimline keyboard for $59, which is 20 off the regular price. Monitors at Best Buy, we've got an Acer 23-inch for $99. That's 80 off. Office Depot has a Dell 22-inch for $99, $30 off. And Staples has a Samsung 27-inch monitor for $179, which is $40 off. Printer scanners, we have at Best Buy the Canon Pixma TS9120 wireless all-in-one printer for $99. That's $100 off. It's half price. Office Depot has a Brother color laser, I should say, for $259, which is $70 off. Yeah, it's expensive when you can sometimes find these $110 color lasers out there, which this is a business quality, high duty cycle color laser. And finally, Staples has a Canon image class all-in-one laser, monochrome laser for $144, which is $55 off. Okay, now we start to get into some interesting products. Home automation and security. Best Buy has a sale on the Canary Indoor Wireless HD all-in-one security system. Now, at first blush, it looks like it's just essentially a webcam. But this webcam has a siren and it has temperature and humidity sensors built into it and can work with smart apps and actually has a feature to call law enforcement if necessary. So it is an entry-level security system. Sells for $104.99. That's $65 off the regular price. The next one is a new product that I had not seen before, and I took some time to research it. It's called Recon Sentinel. And this is an add-on device. It's Ethernet connected to your home network, and it provides a watchdog over your router, your access point, your network in general. It requires that you have a smartphone to manage the system, but it will look for attacks and is constantly downloading new signatures to look for. And read about this if you're interested. You can buy the device is $149, and it will come with then a free 1-year subscription. I think it's $99 a year for the subscription. And I put a link to the product page. It's not the Office Depot page, but the product page here is in the link.
That's a Barracuda.
It's a Barracuda
software.
device, which is a great security gateway.
Yeah, because that Barracuda Sentinel, I hear their ads on the radio all the time. I can only imagine it's the same.
Yeah, it's got to be a
product.
skinny down version of their larger box.
Yeah, so yeah, the Sentinel device.
Yeah.
And Barracuda makes some top-notch security stuff.
They've been around for a while, and they, as an appliance, a security appliance goes, it's very well made. And this has got a quad-core processor in it, this thing. So good for home. I mean, it could be used for small business too, obviously. But I would like to look into this some more. I wonder if I can't it'd be fun to get a sample of it to try out. And finally, Staples has a D-Link HD Wi-Fi camera. And this $59 is not bad for a D-Link, and it's got a lot of features on it meant for monitoring your home. It's got two-way talk. It's got motion sensing. It's got local storage on an SD card. And of course, the web monitoring as well as the smartphone monitoring of the camera. So $59, $10 off. Now we go to Fry's and look at some of the stuff they've got out there, some wacky stuff too. Two, well, they're more than, this is not all of the battery backups they're showing today on today's sale. And the sales are not all that great, but CyberPower 650 for $59. Their starting price is pretty good, $64.99. That's $6 off. And a 450 VA backup for $39, which is $5.99 off. Two dash cams that caught my eye. One is a kind of a standard dash cam. Um, what I liked about it is voice control. I don't know exactly what that means. I couldn't go dig down into from the link that I could find. I didn't have enough time this morning. But dash cam with voice control. I wonder what they mean by that. 140 degrees wide angle, $99. And then this other one was interesting. It's a mirror dash cam with built-in Wi-Fi for app connection. And it actually has according to what I'm seeing here, it actually has a screen built into the mirror. So that's kind of interesting. And you have app access. So that's $79. Haven't seen a lot of this around. I actually dug out two old photo frames that I had squirreled away and fired them up the other day, and they work. But the problem with it is the resolution is so low. And this actually has a 1024 by 768 screen on this thing. It supports SD, SDHC cards. $49. It's Allurtech. They've been around for a long time. 8-inch photo frame. And this other device, if you've got 8mm movies out there, I don't know what it costs to send them off to be converted, but you can buy a direct conversion device. It does not require a computer, will automatically save it to memory card from 8mm and Super 8 film for $258. It's called Wolverine. Don't know much about it, but if it's something you need to do or want to do, and it might actually be cheaper to buy this device and convert your stuff than it is to send, depending on how many films you have. But interesting. Amnon, all that old
Yeah.
Super 8 stuff you've collected over the years, it's time to convert
Yeah,
it.
all that porn stuff.
Yes, yes. Must be archived, must be saved. Here's an interesting device. This is a micro SD card reader with lightning connector. You would use it for your iOS devices. So $24.99. It's instant savings of $1.35, but handy for doing small backups to your phone or your iPad or iPod. And finally, got an Asus, excuse me, 24x internal DVD writer. And just in case somebody hits you, say, hey, I need to read this floppy disk. I have data on it. You can buy a USB 3.0 or USB, I think it's probably USB 2.0, a 3.5-inch floppy drive for $14.54. I have one. That's in my closet. I don't think I take it out very much, but occasionally I have actually gone to read an old disk. But if you need one, here it is. El Cheapo. And that's it for specials today, April 29th, 2018. And I now return the control of your television to you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. So, you know, everybody always, not everybody, music industry always complain that they are losing money. Well, global recorded music revenue soared by $1.4 billion in 2017, largely due to the increased adoption of music streaming devices among consumers. Global recorded music revenues reached $17.4 billion in 2017, putting it just a hair below 2008 $17.7 billion in revenue. That means that most of the decline in recorded music revenues over the past 10 years has now been reversed. Wow. Streaming was the largest driver of that growth, accounting for 43% of all revenue. In 2017, streaming revenues surged by 39%, topping out at 7.4 billion. So they were still making money, but everybody they were complaining that people are streaming illegal and that's taking it away from them.
So when did we ever trust anything the
Yeah, I
RIAA
know,
ever
I know.
said?
Yeah,
But
it's just interesting.
I think maybe people are getting used to paying, and there's just aren't as many opportunities to pirate the stuff anymore, too.
Yeah.
Some of the tricks that used to be there are no longer valid.
If you were if you were wondering why your video didn't make it to YouTube, YouTube says it has successfully trained computers to flag objectionable videos. In the last quarter of 2017, the company reportedly pulled down more than 6 million of these videos before any user saw them. The news comes from a brief aside in Google CEO Sundar Pichai scripted remarks during parent company Alphabet's earning call. He said YouTube had pulled down more than 6 million videos in the last quarter of 2017 after first being flagged by its machine system. And
Yeah, I think that diamond and silk are so dangerous that they need to be pulled down.
well, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. And if these were truly objectionable or whatever, then I'm going to stop complaining about having to.
How is it that people doing live murders and suicides somehow
Yeah,
make it onto live
yeah, sure.
live streaming? I don't know if it's I'm not
Well, I
specifically
think
talking about YouTube here. It's Facebook I'm mentioning now, but
Nick,
um,
you explained it one time. Is Nick here?
Yeah, no,
About
they're liars.
about
That's total BS what they're
no, but
saying.
about not able to monitor live streams. It's only about recorded stuff that they can. I think you mentioned it one time.
well, there must be something in place to monitor live. How could they just offer to put anything they want out there? They would maybe it takes them a while to catch it, and maybe it's actually manual. Who knows? They might
I
have
don't know.
some people in a room somewhere watching 100 monitors, and they're scanning this thing looking for something objectionable. Who knows? But yeah, Nick is right. This is cover. This is just a cover statement written by a lawyer. Watch your butt. So
What do you think, Mike?
he's not here.
Oh, he's gone?
He's muted. He's still there, but
Oh.
he's muted.
Listen to this. Shares in Charter Communications plunged after the cable TV firm reported first quarter earnings and lost more video subscribers than expected, also sparking a sell off in Comcast and Altis USA. Charter said it lost 122,000 video subscribers, nearly triple analysts' predictions for the fall of 43,000. Comcast on Wednesday said it lost 96,000 video subscribers, exceeding estimates for a drop of 75,000. With Friday's sell-off, Comcast stock down 20% in 2018, with Charter falling more than 24%. Cable TV firms aren't the only losers. AT&T this week said it lost 187,000 pay TV customers, including satellite TV subscriber and its Uverse landline business. AT&T's DirecTV Now internet streaming service added 312,000 customers, but AT&T garners much lower profit margins from video streaming. cable companies are now raising prices on broadband services to compensate.
Yeah, that's a solution to the problem.
Yeah,
Idiots.
idiots is not a word, but it's just amazing.
Well, think about how many companies have gone that exact same path and no longer exist.
Yeah, right, right.
Think of Toys R Us.
Yeah. Oh, look at Sears.
Yeah. And the only thing that's surviving, it's interesting, are the Sears neighborhood stores now, the appliance stores that are, I see commercials on television now saying that they're actually privately owned
Yeah.
franchises.
Yeah, we don't work for Sears. We actually own it.
We have one in Apex, and I have helped people go pick up appliances there. It's actually got good deals.
Well, I'm saying that's the difference. I mean, they're making it. There's a reason to go to that store.
Yes, there is a reason to go.
Unlike to go to a regular. I mean, why don't you go to a regular Toys R Us?
Because you want
To look at something so you could buy it
Buy it
online.
on Amazon. I mean, or eBay.
Want to check it out first, so you want to make sure it's the quality you want before you go buy it from Amazon.
Yes.
What they should have done was have Toys R Us turn out to be just a place to view products and have all the Amazon kiosks set up and all around the store to order them right there.
And
And
use
then
an
go-
affiliate program.
Yeah. Damn, we should have told them about that.
I
before they
know,
folded.
man. I'm thinking of this right now. We wouldn't be doing Computers 2K now. I can guarantee you that.
That's it.
Yep.
That would have been a great idea. Yeah.
That's like the old warehouse stores they used to have years ago, where they called them catalog stores, and you would get it was no online. You get a catalog, you get it in the mail, and you look through it, and it would have things priced, limited selection, of course. And you'd go to the store, and it would put in, you buy it, and you'd wait at this counter, and the person in the warehouse would bring it out to you, and you'd take it as whatever it was home. It could be furniture, or it could be anything, and it was a great way to buy stuff. No, there was no store. It was like a warehouse to you. And of course, they went away when online ordering came along.
Do you remember the Sears catalog?
I remember the Christmas catalog.
Yeah.
That was just Sears catalog was like as big as I mean, it was like 2 inches thick. Like a phone book.
I remember the Montgomery Ward catalog.
Mm.
And we actually ordered, my mother, when I was a kid, we had a very traumatic Christmas because she figured, oh, I can try this. It's a good price. She ordered all of the gifts for the family from the Montgomery Ward catalog, and nothing showed up in time for Christmas.
Oh, geez.
So she panicked when it got to be like 2 or 3 days before Christmas and went out and just bought stuff. I remember this. It was back then, credit cards were brand new, and I forget what they called it. It was kind of there was a name that the very popular card at the time. But she went out and charged a whole bunch of stuff just because. And eventually, I don't know if she canceled the orders and got her money back or something, but I know she was very stressed out over it. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
Oh, Amnon, sorry, I haven't been following chat, so I just went back and looked.
Okay.
Very important thing to make everybody remember to do. And I've done this. I've known about this for years, but if you don't know, disable UPnP, or Universal Plug and Play, on your router. They've found out about another new exploit that you can be used to take control of your router and your network. So make sure that you turn it off. It's
in the router.
It's a feature in the router. Most devices, like a router, will have a button to join. Say, I want to join, and just put in a passcode, and it automatically configures the security for you.
WPS button.
Yeah. Don't even bother to use that either. Turn it off. But
Mhm.
UPnP, Universal Plug and Play, turn it off. Turn it off.
Yep. So, wireless carriers T-Mobile and Sprint have made progress in negotiating merger terms and are aiming to successfully complete deal talks as early as next week. The combined company would have more than 127 million customers and could create more formidable competition for the number one and number two wireless players, Verizon and AT&T. Amid a race to expand offerings in 5G, the next generation of wireless technology. So T-Mobile majority owner Deutsche Telekom and Japan's SoftBank, which controls Sprint, are considering an agreement that would dictate how they exercise voting control over the combined company. I mean, yeah, they have a big problem, don't they? This could allow Deutsche Telekom to consolidate the combined company on its books, even without owning a majority stake. Deutsche Telekom owns more than 63% of T-Mobile, while SoftBank owns 84.7% of Sprint. Deutsche Telekom and T-Mobile are also in the process of finalizing the debt financing package they will use to fund the deal. There's no certainty that the deal will be reached, the sources caution. But there's going to be another one less competitor in the market.
Have you read of any of the controversy about 5G development?
No, it's
How
always been
this made the news for a lot of reasons why, and one specific thing was that the um, Trump administration came out and wanting to block the deployment of Chinese developed 5G technology.
They did, absolutely.
They
Yeah.
did. Well, they blocked it because of the fact that all these backdoors and spying things were built into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
What's the name of the that's the Chinese company that makes them? Not
Huawei.
Qualcomm. Huawei. Yeah, Huawei. Yeah.
Huawei, yeah,
Good. I think, I mean,
50% owned by the Chinese military.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, we should probably be a little skeptical of a foreign government that that we're not on the best terms with, deploying literally owning our entire wireless network.
It's so funny how there were people, proponents out there saying, "Oh, 5G, it's going to be so good, it's going to be so good." And when they brought this up, they said, "Oh, you're just being protectionist." No, there's a track record. Look at what's happened with routers that were produced that had to be scrapped because the chipsets were compromised.
Mhm.
Well, and when I say compromised, it was cooked into the chipset to have these backdoors and ways into these routers that only the people, the developers, knew about. And yeah, it was pretty amazing. Oh, you're just trying to protect American companies. Yeah, but that's
Darn.
not the main reason.
Well,
Well,
and the next major update to Windows 10.
Coming Monday, right?
The what?
Coming Monday, right?
we still haven't sorted out all the things that the
It
latest, the
says that it's
last
supposed to be
update
April.
did.
Yeah, begin rolling out on April 30th. So tomorrow.
Oh, did Larry mentioned to me that he called in last week about the another issue? Did he call the show?
I
He
don't
had an
remember.
issue where another one of his machines got the latest Windows update, Windows 10, and it broke his screen reader. And it was specifically Firefox that wouldn't work, and the fix was to load Firefox Extended Support Edition,
Hmm.
the one that doesn't change with every new feature under the sun that comes out. It's actually and it's designed for corporations, so they don't have
I
to
don't
keep chasing
I don't think he
fixing
called.
problems when they come out with a new feature, and that fixes the screen reader problems. I've since talked to him. I emailed him with hopefully what a solution that worked for him.
So good.
Yeah, I can't wait for the new update so I can go and repair all my printer connections and multiple display devices, so I can spend hours trying to fix them and just enjoy so much doing that debugging.
So we're going back to cord cutting and TV and all that. A new study by Kagan S&P Global Market Intelligence finds that cord cutting is being caused primarily by 74% increase in customer cable bills since 2000. It says that increase is even adjusted for inflation, and it should be noted that individual earnings have seen a modest decline during that same period, making soaring cable rates untenable for many. This affordability gap is squeezing penetration rates, particularly among the more economically vulnerable households. The research company added, and as their chart illustrates, prices for multi-channel packages have steadily risen from just below $60 a month in 2000 to close to $100 in 2016, all while incomes remain largely stagnant. As
It's only
customer,
money.
it's what? It's all about
It's
money. Oh,
only
yeah, it
money.
is.
Yeah, who cares?
It says that most cable operators are simply raising the price of broadband, often via usage caps and overage fees, to try and make up for lost revenue. And because most parts of America still don't really see healthy broadband competition, they can consistently get away with it. The carrier can get away with it.
My problem is I only have one real choice for internet.
Yep.
I don't have any options. I can't even get DSL at my house because of the outside plant in my neighborhood is so bad and they won't upgrade it. And AT&T won't put fiber in my neighborhood because we're too small.
They will sooner or later. I mean, they don't do it here
I've been
either.
try- they've been they're only going to new neighborhoods because they can put it in before the neighborhood's built. They're not going to put it in here. They don't care.
I mean, I don't know how they feed the Uverse 45, not the uh gigapower, whatever. What they call it these days, Mike? It's the really high speed. I think that comes in as fiber also. So I don't know what it takes to raise the speed to the gigapower, but they're not doing it. And talking with the AT&T people that every now and then are out there and asking them, they said, "No, you're not going to see it for a while here." Well,
If we could just build that Tesla generator in Apex, the tower that provides us with wireless electricity, everything will be great.
mhm. Mm, 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 mm.
He actually built one on Long Island, a test bed, but and was testing it. Didn't get very far with it though. Hmm.
Um, so this is a story from last week about Amazon and Best Buy want to sell you your next smart TV. It says the companies, which are two of the biggest electronic retailers in the US, on Wednesday revealed a new multi-year partnership to sell the next generation of TV running Amazon's Fire TV operating system to customers in the US and Canada. Best Buy will be the exclusive seller for more than 10 4K and HD Fire TV edition models made by Toshiba and Best Buy Insignia. There you go, Insignia brand starting this summer. Pricing on the sets has not yet been announced. These smart TVs will be available only in Best Buy stores on bestbuy.com and for the first time from Best Buy as a seller on Amazon.com. I'm telling you, this Jeff Bezos is getting his hand in everything. Everything.
If we wait long enough, it'll change. The problem is we it would be not inside our lifetimes.
Oh well, you know, Fire TV.
Yep.
That's what that may start the whole thing. I mean, yeah, we got a Fire TV stick. Nick said that we should get one, but to get to use it, it's just like the Chromecast. You know, you just don't do it because it's easy to sit there with a remote and go, you know, Netflix and this and that and the other. If there is the operating system is Fire TV and it's built in and you have the remote right there, you know, that may be a game changer. What do you think?
I was typing in the chat. What
Yeah,
was
who
the
you asking
question?
me about the game changing thing? No, Emma.
Oh, sorry, what?
I what?
I was saying that if the TV is
Yeah.
coming with it built in, that may be a game changer
No, I
because
don't think you want that. See, this is the problem with the original smart TVs is now they become obsolete so quickly that after a certain point you've got to either throw the TV away or stop using the smart functionality because it's no longer up to date.
And that they don't keep the actual apps up to date. And some of them, the apps are pretty horrible.
And I got my parents a Vizio TV for I don't know, some holiday a couple of years ago. And it's a smart TV and it's fine, but I mean it takes 4 minutes to load Netflix on it.
yeah.
Just slow.
I have Netflix through a Vizio TV, and it's actually pretty good. My old Philips TV, the Netflix app was horrible because it would
Yeah.
not let you add any shows. It only looked at your uh, list of what do they call the list of your picks or whatever they call it, your save shows. That's the
Mhm.
only list you could look at, and you had to add them from your computer so it would show up on the TV. It wasn't very good. One other problem I see with a lot of new TVs out there is that they're not giving you enough HDMI ports anymore.
Oh, that's on purpose.
No, I know. Yeah, they're doing it, but there are good solutions out there, inexpensive HDMI switch boxes that you can get that actually have remotes for very inexpensive that work very well. So I have a, a Blu-ray player, a DVD player, a um, Roku, a uh, Google. What is the Google device? I can't remember now. My mind just went blank.
Chromecast.
Chromecast, and I only have two HDMI's and my cable box. So my cable box has one, and all the other ones go into my switch, and it works fine because some of them I don't use very often, but I do use the Chromecast and the Roku on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it was annoying.
still
My old TV had four HDMI's. My new one only had two.
that sucks. Yeah, definitely. Um, talk about Netflix. Donna was here last night, and they were sitting there watching Netflix, and I came in and said, "So what are you watching?" And Donna says, "They uh redid Lost in Space." So they have the new Lost in. Remember Lost in Space fence? What are you looking like? That
Yeah, I had that.
yeah,
And I remember the movie that
yeah.
was not very
So
good.
there is a series now, Lost in Space, and it's sort of like same characters, only Dr. Smith is a female, and
On
it's
the check
very
that one.
interesting.
2018. Let's see. I'm
The
looking at it
robot
now.
is actually a an alien. But it was I sit there and watched two episodes of
Says the creator is Irwin Allen. He's still alive,
uh,
or
who's
is that
this?
just giving him credit for creating the original show?
Oh,
No, he's been dead since 1991. Sorry, Irwin. I didn't mean to drag you through the
Rest
mud.
in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Good show. You created a great concept, and now we have release number 3.
Yeah, but it is a nice. I mean, it's very well made.
Oh, that'd be good. Something new to watch.
Yeah,
I'm almost at the end of Travelers, the second season of Travelers, so I'll have something to
yeah.
go over to here. And now that Bosch is out on Amazon Prime, that's a good series. Hmm.
Yup.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Mike is still here. Is he still muted? Or is he on the phone?
He's here. He's just muted.
What's up?
I was. I mean, you were really quiet back there, so I was wondering if you wanted to say something and you're just being polite.
If I'm gonna say something, I'll speak up.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I was going to ask Spence if did you hear what I got for my anniversary present?
No. Oh, your saw?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't get an electrician to show up.
Seriously? Well,
Two of
is
them.
it 240?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your panel?
Well, the actual inside panel is right in the dryer room, right next to the garage, but no one suggests that it should be run off that panel. It should be run back to the main panel
Yeah,
over
the
where the
outside
AC
panel.
units
Yeah.
are.
Oh.
That's a 35-foot trench, has to be 18 inches.
What?
Another
Why?
guy
Okay.
came around and suggested running it in conduit along the ground and throwing dirt over it. You'd never see it. And he's now been 5 days without returning a text message. So
Why not run it from the dryer? What's the reasoning
the panel doesn't have the capacity.
to do drying and cutting? How often are you going to be cutting? So you tell Susan, "Hey, we don't use the dryer when I'm using the saw," and that's it.
I don't do crap like that, am I?
Hmm.
I
Is
was
it
just
what? How many amps?
13.
So a 240 20 amp circuit will do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you would never run a 240/20. I mean,
No, you run higher than that, but
we're
still,
running actually a 100 amp panel with a 90 amp service so that the
yeah.
whole room can be rewired for 120 as well as 240 so that it doesn't knock the breaker off on the dryer when I try to run something. But oh, heck, this thing's we're approaching a month on this thing.
Hmm.
In fact, it's probably a month now.
You need to get a generator like Amnon has and have it out in your driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd give you 240, no problem.
Well, I have a generator, but it doesn't do 240.
Gary's asking if you called Guth. You did, didn't you?
What?
Gary's saying, "Did you call Guth?"
I tried calling him a long time ago, and
Yeah.
told me he was remodeling his daughter's house. He didn't have time. So I don't
Uh,
call him back. I'm not chasing people anymore.
I Did you look to see what gauge is bringing juice to the dryer?
No.
So you're assuming that it will not be able to handle it.
Well, I'm assuming that whatever they put in for the dryer is appropriately sized for the dryer and is not appropriately sized to add a 3 horsepower motor to it.
I think it's 30. Dryers are typically 30 amps. Electric dryers.
I'm thinking, depending on I don't know what kind of plug is on the saw, but if it's depending on what kind it is, I may just build a suicide adapter and at least temporarily run the wire in there till I can get some idiot to show up and help.
Mm.
One day these tables will turn and people will be looking for business, and I'm not going to return their phone calls.
I know now, I talk to people in the programming industry or just manufacturing industry, and they are absolutely starving for good help, and it's a problem. It's good for kids. Kids were really in a bad way for a while because the things they had to go through. My nephew was hired by out of college for Amazon out west, moved there, got the job, and he's just left. It's maybe a little over a year because they're working him to death. And the things that they promised him, they didn't do, and just excuses. You have to work Saturday, you have to work Sunday, you cannot stay home. Doesn't matter if your leg has been cut off, you have to come to work. And he just had enough. And now he's got some experience. He can go find a job someplace else. And they're much more accommodating to try to find good people.
It's kind
I
of
never
easy to understand why why people wouldn't want to work for some companies when they treat you like crap. Life's too short.
I
Well,
had
I think they have a different mentality than I did anyway. I grew up with the mentality I was going to stay with the company for 30 years. And now it's like the most you ever stay with anybody, a maximum is 5.
3.
It's 3 now?
Yeah.
Oh boy, even worse. But I wound up working for 4 different companies, major companies over the years when I didn't think I'd ever do that. So,
I had very good experience with Guth. I can't complain about him. Steve is a good guy. It's interesting, Mike, what you're saying, and then Gary's saying that he has no daughter. I mean, Gary and Steve are good friends, so that's interesting.
Well, maybe it wasn't him that said it his daughter. It was something he was doing. He couldn't come. I'm not talking bad about the guy. I don't know him. I've
No,
never
I
met
did
him.
say that.
I'm not bad mouthing him in any way, shape, or form. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
Gary,
too
he's not
busy. He's got a duty to say he shouldn't come. He's good that he's not promising to do things that he
right,
can't do.
right, absolutely.
which is to be, which is an accolade. I mean, that's good that you can say, I can't do it. I have to do that. I have to tell people I just can't do what you're asking me to do for whatever reason. And I won't say, yeah, I'll get by there and take a look at it and then not show up.
Gary's saying call him again, and he's giving you the phone number. Do you see it
Well,
in the chat?
no, I'm not in chat. Let me log back
Yeah,
in.
he said that. He said call him again, and here's his phone number. I would say the
Call
same.
Duke Energy. They'll be out there in 15
Yeah.
minutes.
I'm not usually one for going back for more punishment.
So here's an interesting article here. For the second year in a row, a study found that Google's digital assistant is smarter than Amazon Assistant, Alexa.
That makes sense.
The study does note that Alexa is catching up and was far and away the most improved from 2017 and 2018. CNET reports that digital marketing company Stone Temple released the results of its 2018 smart speaker quiz earlier this week. Look how they do it. It did a similar test last year in which it asked digital assistants roughly 5,000 questions to see which assistant answers the most correctly. Now, I have a problem with that. The most correctly. For the first time this year, Stone Temple asked the questions separately to Google Assistant on the company's home smart speaker and an assistant equipped phone. The study found that Google Assistant attempts the most responses and gets the most attempted responses correctly. I don't understand that. Attempts and most. Strangely, Assistant performed even better on a phone than on a smart speaker. Surprisingly, Microsoft Cortana took second place with Alexa trailing both and Siri lagging far behind the rest. Alexa doubled the number of questions it was able to answer from 2017, and Microsoft Assistant improved as well. So, yeah, I mean, Google has Google. They have a search engine that gets a lot of information.
Yeah, that shouldn't really be. That's not really a surprise to me.
Gets a lot of information. So what? Who was that? Um, it's just interesting to see that that they are Can you imagine 5,000 questions? That's a quiz.
That's fact.
And they give you 10 minutes to answer the questions. Remember when the air traffic controllers were fired down on in the 80s? And they had to staff up again. They had to strike, and Reagan just said, "Well, it's against the law for you to strike, so you're all fired."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
great.
I went and took the test at the federal building in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
and I should have studied for it. I didn't. Just, oh, it's not that. You just go, right? Well, it was unbelievable, and it was logic questions, and then the hardest thing was they give you literally as a bunch of conditions and a bunch of planes and different headings and all that stuff, and they say, okay, so go through and do this sorting through of this list of ordering the planes and separation and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh man, this was a hard test. Oh my God. And they wound up running it again because they didn't get enough candidates because the hard test was so hard. I think that they lightened up a bit. But it turns out I'm glad I didn't wind up doing that because I'd probably be dead by now.
No.
The stress from that. I forgot
He's
about that.
fine.
That was a test.
That was a test. That was only a
was.
test.
This is
All
just a
right.
test.
We're getting back to that time of day.
Oh, I mentioned earlier before we got started was that I replaced my drone.
Oh, yeah.
I bought an Altair drone from Amazon, and it's a it has three modes: beginner, intermediate, and expert mode. And this one actually flies without crashing into things, which is nice. And very good as a trainer. And as one to learn that you can start to advance. It has some pretty sophisticated things built in. You can fly it completely manual, or you can fly it with automatic takeoff and landing and return and things like that. So I flew it around the yard yesterday, and it was good to be in the yard because it doesn't have any hard things to crash into if you stay close to where you're sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always, if you loses power or you hit the auto land and it lands in the grass, it doesn't do anything. So
Does it come back home if it loses?
it will tell you if it's going out of range or the battery's low. It starts to beep. And I did not. I flew it around some trees and through some, I kind of threw open obstacles just to get used to flying it and bring it back to. I had a round disc that I made out of wood that I set on the grass that I just happened to have from a project. I set it down there, and I was taking off and landing it on that pad to practice.
Heliport.
So yeah, it was cool. I think I'm going to just keep practicing and then turn off some of the helps and to get to that. I haven't even played with the camera yet. And the app for live video return coming back. So.
Oh. Okay. Mike, did you want to add anything? Nick?
Sure.
Everything. All right. Spence?
Nope.
Anything
I'm good.
else? All right. So thank you guys. It was good. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks everybody for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. While you're at it, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tonight at 7, Nick Craig hosts Against the Norm on Wilmington's Big Talker 106.7. And you can listen to it on TuneIn. See you next week, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.